fought back yet again. He filed a lawsuit against the New York Times, which he had Brian Friedman on to discuss, saying it had done a defamatory report on Blake Lively's claims that she was allegedly harassed by this guy when they shot the movie It Ends With Us, a film about domestic violence. In that claim, they said the Times distorted the truth. They did not report text messages which were full and complete, which showed a very different meaning than the snippets that Blake Lively put in her. In this lawsuit with Blake Lively, because I think she's horrible and she's made up this whole thing because she tried to steal his movie. But he is the most overly feminized man I've had to endure in recent history. Everything he says is self-flagellating over the fact that he's a man. But he's, to me, is sort of the embodiment of what happens when you totally emasculate a man. And then she continued, she took that stiletto and stuck it in his heart when he was down there self-flagellating, being so sorry for anything having to do with his testosterone. Then you run into somebody who seems like a witch who will take advantage of you and hurt you until finally even that kind of a guy rises up. Now, he didn't do it himself exactly. He hired a badass named Brian Friedman. And he has badass women like me defending him. But slowly but surely, I think the male class is learning down on the floor, squirming and apologizing for being a man is not the
expertise, as I have said from the very beginning, smartest possible move for Justin Baldoni's team to make. I've said depose her. I wasn't sure they were going to do it because Brian Friedman was asked about it by Harvey Levin on TMZ, and he said, well, we don't know. We'll see which way this case goes. And I'm going, what do you mean you don't know? That would be like the very first thing I would do. I would depose Taylor Swift against Blake Lively because first and foremost, no matter how you feel about Taylor Swift, you have to recognize and respect the fact.
Lately, the name on everyone's lips is Blake Lively, a woman who seemed to have it all: an enviable career, a sparkling reputation, and of course, that famously playful dynamic with Ryan Reynolds. Yet whispers are circling that she might be straying, entangled in a fling that could upend one of Tinseltown's most adored couples. Think you've heard it all? Think again. This swirling gossip isn't just about stolen kisses or cryptic text messages. It's fueled by so-called insider tips, purported leaked voicemails, and enough conflicting eyewitness accounts to send any fan's head spinning. Online forums are exploding with theories that range from the plausible, late-night meetings, suspicious photos, to the downright bizarre. Everyone wants answers, but nobody knows where to find the truth. The only certainty is that something's brewing, and the fallout may be more dramatic than any blockbuster premiere. Can you believe this? The world is collectively holding its breath. Blake has always dazzled with her cool, confident charm, while Ryan's witty sense of humor seems tailor-made for social media banter. Together, they've been a walking fairy tale until now. Is it possible the polished exterior we've come to adore was just a mirage? Has Hollywood's golden couple been silently teetering on the edge of scandal this whole time? Or is the entire thing an outrageous fabrication conjured up by tabloids? Hungry for a sensational headline? Strap yourselves in, because the next chapters might just rattle every assumption you've ever made. We'll dive headfirst into the swirling rumors, picking apart the so-called evidence, the contradictory statements, and the meltdown moments that insiders claim to have witnessed. And in a town where rumors can make or break even the biggest stars, the stakes have never been higher. Did Blake Lively really risk it all? Has Ryan Reynolds found himself blindsided by an ugly truth? Or is the entire narrative a manipulative ploy crafted by someone with a hidden agenda? No scandal springs out of nowhere. It usually bubbles up in small, heated bursts until someone can't keep it in any longer. And that's exactly what seems to have happened here. Depending on who you ask, the first hints that something was off with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds began weeks ago. Some say it was a casual remark from an anonymous social media account that sparked a viral storm. Others point to a blurry photo circulating online, allegedly showing Blake in a suspiciously cozy position with a person who clearly wasn't Ryan. Regardless of the source, curiosity turned into speculation almost overnight. Witnesses claim the initial murmurs were easy to dismiss, just more celebrity gossip, right? But then, side comments from acquaintances started seeping out. One so-called friend of the couple hinted at distancing and unusual tension in their private interactions. Another insisted that Ryan had been making cryptic remarks about trust and betrayal. And let's not forget the paparazzi. who are suddenly snapping more pictures of Blake solo than ever before, fueling theories that the couple has hit a rocky stretch. Fans who adore the pair have taken to social media to dissect every minor detail. Did Ryan skip a recent event that Blake attended alone? Why has Blake been posting fewer family pictures online lately? The rumor gained so much traction that entertainment outlets jumped in, amplifying the chatter. Late-night talk shows made jokes about trouble in paradise, and tabloid headlines started featuring words like shock and exposed. Before long, the story became more than just a footnote in the gossip columns. But that wasn't the whole story. Suddenly, a small group of insiders claimed they had actual proof that something scandalous was going on. They mentioned secret meetups at offbeat places, unusual phone records, and hushed conversations that ended abruptly the moment anyone else walked in. Was it all fabricated nonsense? Or was Hollywood's favorite couple on the brink of a scandal that could shatter their carefully cultivated image? Strap in, because that's just the opening act. We're only scratching the surface of these tantalizing rumors. The next twist might be even more unsettling, especially if you've always believed in Blake Lively's faultless public persona. If a rumor is a tiny seed, odd clues are the water that makes it grow. And let's just say that seed was practically drowning in suspicious details. Observers noticed little changes in Blake's usual behavior, like her once active social media feed suddenly going quiet. Posts that used to feature hilarious banter between her and Ryan took a sharp downturn, replaced by solo snapshots or promotional content for her latest projects. Where were those playful references to her family life that fans had come to love? Why did Ryan's famously snarky replies vanish into thin air? Some claim that's no coincidence. Alleged insiders mention that Blake started attending industry parties without Ryan. Sure, busy careers are part of showbiz, but the absence raised eyebrows, especially when rumors of her having private tete-a-tetes with someone else started swirling. The tabloids pounced on every piece of evidence they could find: grainy photos, unsubstantiated hearsay, even a rumored phone call transcript that no one could verify. Yet the chatter refused to die down. Speculation turned feverish after a moment on set when, according to an extra, Blake appeared visibly anxious upon receiving a text message. The same observer claimed she rushed off to a secluded corner to make a heated phone call, her face contorted with what looked like alarm or anger. Dramatic? Possibly, but in a realm where illusions matter more than reality, such a small slip-up can feed the rumor mill like lighter fluid on an open flame. And let's talk about meltdown moments. Multiple sources whisper of tension-filled arguments just out of public view. While none of these accounts are verified, the fact that they keep popping up from unrelated corners suggests there might be a kernel of truth. She was livid about something, recalls one alleged onlooker from a private event. Another claims Blake seemed jittery and on edge, uncharacteristically snapping at her team over trivial mishaps. It doesn't align with the calm, collected star the public sees on talk shows and red carpets. So why all the secrecy? Is Blake Lively truly harboring a scandalous liaison, or is she grappling with a completely different personal crisis? The puzzle pieces keep stacking higher, leaving everyone to wonder if the next one will confirm the worst fears or dismantle the rumor for good. But that's not all. The real heartbreak would come if Ryan Reynolds, beloved for his razor-sharp humor and goofy social media interactions, found himself blindsided by a betrayal he never anticipated. The next section reveals how Ryan might be reacting behind the scenes. Because trust me, you won't believe the stories floating around. Ryan Reynolds is famous for many things: his comedic timing, his offbeat roles, and that perpetual twinkle in his eye. He's the guy who roasts his wife on Twitter in the most endearing ways possible. He's the master of playful insults that always manage to come off as affectionate. So imagine the shock among fans who suspect he might now be the wounded party in a hush-hush scandal. According to widespread speculation, his slick humor has taken a nosedive in private, replaced by something far more troubled. Anonymous tipsters paint a picture of a man wrestling with disbelief and anger. Word is, he found out about Blake's rumored indiscretions from an unexpected source, a mutual acquaintance who couldn't bear seeing him kept in the dark. Some say he confronted Blake the moment he heard, demanding to know the truth, and that the confrontation led to tears, raised voices, and a swirl of accusations. Others argue he's been suspicious for quite some time, carefully biding his time until he could gather evidence. Whichever version you believe, neither scenario ends well for the dashing Mr. Reynolds. Publicly, he's still posting the occasional witty remark. But fans with eagle eyes notice the shift in tone. Instead of playful jabs at Blake, he's focusing on career-related updates or philanthropic causes. The jokes that used to involve his wife have mysteriously vanished. Could it be that he's purposely steering attention away from any mention of their relationship, hoping no one notices the cracks? Or is he just busy with a new project, and we're all reading too much into it? Then come the tales of private meltdown moments. One story swirling around claims Ryan was overheard venting to a friend about feeling blindsided and used. Another alleges that he's seeking advice from A-list buddies, possibly close pals who've weathered their own storms, to figure out how to handle the potential PR nightmare. After all, in Hollywood, public image is currency. If the rumor catches enough mainstream traction, it could overshadow movie releases, brand endorsements, even charitable endeavors. Yet the worst blow might be emotional rather than professional. Ryan's cultivated this image of a loving partner who's always quick with a joke, always supportive, and never overshadowed by scandal. If this rumor bears even a shred of truth, it's not just a betrayal of marital vows, it's a betrayal of the playful, devoted persona he shared with the world. Fans adore them as a couple. Any hint of infidelity shatters that fairy tale illusion like glass on concrete. The heartbreak, some say, is too big to hide behind a smirk or sarcastic tweet. Still, there's another crucial player in this swirling drama, one who might hold the key to whether these rumors are fact or fiction. Get ready, because if the allegations are right, the identity of the so-called third party will send shockwaves through the fandom, especially if they turn out to be the cunning manipulator some claim they are. A scandal without a third party is just speculation. Add an unknown figure into the mix and suddenly the drama skyrockets. That's exactly what happened once rumors began circulating about who might be receiving Blake's late-night phone calls, secret messages, and possibly more. No one knows for sure if this mysterious individual is from the entertainment industry, a business associate from her entrepreneurial projects, or an old friend turned confidant. But the theories are swirling faster than you can say Hollywood meltdown. One version of events pegs the potential fling as a co-star from an upcoming project, an actor with a reputation for stirring up controversies and forging flirtatious bonds on set. Another rumor suggests it's a high-profile music producer who's been quietly linked to multiple celebrities over the years. Then, you have the truly wild conspiracy crowd claiming it's actually a close family friend, which would make the betrayal hit even harder. Each scenario sounds more dramatic than the last, but the question remains: who stands to gain from stirring up this hornet's nest? Suspicious text messages are reportedly floating around, screenshots that allegedly show cryptic exchanges between Blake and the unknown party. They're said to include vague references to sneaking away, meeting at undisclosed locations, and making sure no one sees them together. Naturally, these images could be doctored. In a digital age where editing a screenshot is child's play, there's no guarantee we're dealing with legitimate evidence. But their existence alone has fans and detractors up in arms. Some are calling for a thorough debunking. Others insist the screenshots are proof positive that Blake's squeaky clean image is a facade. This shadowy figure is also portrayed in certain circles as an opportunist who thrives on the fame and fortunes of wealthy stars. They're described as cunning, entitled, and manipulative. Accusations that paint them as the real villain of the story. Could it be that Blake is an unwitting pawn in someone else's game, lured by flattery and a sense of adventure she's not getting at home? Or is she fully complicit, using her star power to shield her hidden liaisons from the outside world? Friends of Ryan Reynolds are reportedly keeping an eye on this rumor, trying to identify the suspect before more damage is done. If these stories carry any weight, Ryan might feel deeply betrayed, not just by Blake, but by someone he thought he could trust. The worst part is, if the affair truly exists, it's not just about stolen affection. It's about manipulation, secrecy, and breaking a bond the public believed was invincible. But let's not jump to conclusions just yet. The labyrinth of gossip grows deeper the more we try to map it. Are we dealing with a cunning seducer, or is the entire rumor a smokescreen for something else entirely? The scandal only thickens once the media and hordes of online sleuths step in, magnifying every rumor to epic proportions. When a celebrity rumor explodes, it doesn't just hurt the people directly involved. It sparks an entire ecosystem of speculation and commentary that can spin out of control. News outlets latch onto every lurid detail, sometimes twisting them beyond recognition to feed the insatiable appetite for scandal. Social media becomes a battlefield, with fans and detractors clashing in real time, each side convinced they know the real truth. Wars break out, and so-called investigators dig through old interviews, tweets, and images, hunting for the slightest clue that might confirm their biases. For Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, two individuals who've been incredibly savvy about handling their public personas, this sudden uptick in scrutiny must feel like a suffocating avalanche. Reporters pepper them with questions at events, only to be met with forced smiles or polite evasions. Gossip columns run unverified stories claiming inside sources have all but confirmed the affair. And message boards light up with armchair. Psychologists analyzing their every gesture, posture, or quote from past interviews to see if it reveals hidden tensions. In the midst of this, fans are left questioning how much of the couple's charismatic banter was a performance. Many feel blindsided, especially those who look to Blake and Ryan as a glowing example of a Hollywood romance done right. Some express disappointment and disillusionment, while others rage against the rumor mill, insisting there's no way these allegations could be true. But as the chatter grows, skepticism spreads, and the pressure on the couple, and possibly their alleged third wheel, intensifies by the hour. Conflicting narratives make the situation even murkier. One minute, you hear that Ryan has been staying, out late with friends to avoid confronting Blake at home. The next, an unnamed source claims the two are locked in constant arguments behind closed doors. Another insists they're ignoring the rumors altogether, focusing on saving face publicly while quietly ironing out their differences. The rumor mill spins so fast that the truth, if it exists, is almost impossible to pin down. The worst part? Hollywood tends to devour its own. A big enough scandal can sink careers, tank endorsements, and ruin reputations built over years. Both Blake and Ryan have cultivated images that rely heavily on their witty, down-to-earth couple dynamic. Shatter that illusion, and everything from their box office draw to their brand partnerships might suffer. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the looming question is, if one of them is truly at fault, how long before the burden of that guilt or the public's outrage forces a confession? But that's not the only angle fueling this saga. As if media scrutiny weren't enough, rumors of leaked evidence, voicemails, messages, and even alleged videos suggest an even bigger bombshell may be lurking on the horizon. The next step in this twisted journey? Learning whether these leaks are legitimate or just another layer of deception designed to stoke the flames. In modern celebrity culture, one word can turn a rumor into an inferno: leaks. The internet thrives on them, and entire reputations can be destroyed by a few seconds of compromising footage or a handful of scandalous texts. For Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the rumor of impending revelations has become the nerve-wracking twist that could shift the entire narrative from mere speculation to undeniable fact, or expose the rumor as a calculated hoax meant to sabotage their standing. The first whispers of leaked material arrived in a flurry of cryptic tweets, each promising that proof of Blake's indiscretions was about to drop. Screenshots allegedly showcased partial text conversations where Blake coordinated secret meetups. One snippet had her apologizing for a missed rendezvous, vaguely mentioning Ryan's suspicions. Another teased an audio clip capturing her hushed voice, apparently making veiled references to not getting caught. Of course, none of these so-called leaks has been verified, and the authenticity remains hotly disputed among fans and critics alike. The possibility of a damning video also looms. Some tabloids have declared they're just days away from acquiring footage that purports to show Blake engaged in a moment of intimacy with someone who isn't her husband. Is it a cunning deep fake? Or is this the real thing? The mere hint of such evidence has caused a feeding frenzy, with paparazzi doubling their efforts to snap incriminating angles of both Blake and Ryan. Meanwhile, online communities debate the ethics of sharing or viewing such material, even as they ravenously seek it out. If the leaks turn out to be genuine, the fallout could be immediate and catastrophic. Apologies, statements, and public distancing might follow. Endorsement deals could evaporate overnight, and blockbuster roles might slip through their fingers. Public sympathy could shift dramatically, especially if Ryan is seen as the innocent party, blindsided by the woman he often joked was the love of his life. Alternatively, if the material is proven fake, Blake might emerge as a wronged star caught in a vile smear campaign orchestrated by someone hungry for fame or revenge. But the worst-case scenario is that no one can prove or disprove the authenticity of the leaks, leaving an ugly question mark that never goes away. Because in Hollywood, nothing festers quite like unconfirmed scandal. It seeps into every corner of your career, following you like a shadow that resurfaces at the slightest opportunity. Still, there's a bigger picture here, one that transcends two big names and a swirl of rumors. The cautionary tale of how quickly public adoration can flip into collective outrage, and how delicate the balance is between a gilded reputation and a fall from grace. The seventh section dives into that broader context, revealing just how precarious fame can be when personal missteps start becoming front-page news. Celebrity culture often feels like a kaleidoscope of glitz, glamour, and endless smiles. But beneath that shiny surface lurks a harsh reality. Icons are only as beloved as their latest success. One slip, and the adoration can sour in an instant. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, previously exalted as the definitive power couple, now find themselves teetering on a razor's edge, trapped between the public's longing for fairy tale romance and its thirst for dramatic scandal. Look at the historical precedents. Numerous Hollywood sweethearts, once praised as beacons of love, collapsed under the weight of betrayal rumors. One minute, the tabloids celebrate them as relationship goals. The next, they're crucified for failing to maintain that impossible standard of perfection. Fans forget that celebrities are flesh and blood, flawed in ways that can't be hidden behind Instagram filters. The second a scandal breaks, the same admirers who hoisted them onto pedestals are often the first to tear them down. What's even more disturbing is how quickly many people jump to believe the worst. Perhaps it's human nature to crave shocking revelations, to unmask the supposed innocence of our idols. Or maybe it's the 24-hour media cycle that capitalizes on negativity, churning out sensational content that hooks audiences and drives clicks. In this environment, an unsubstantiated rumor can balloon into a cultural phenomenon, dominating talk shows, online forums, and family dinner conversations alike. For Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the question becomes, can they weather this storm and come out with reputations intact? Hollywood's memory is both fickle and long. If they manage to disprove the rumors, they might bounce back, maybe even stronger than before, leveraging their harrowing experience into sympathy points. But if even a fraction of these allegations hold water, their carefully nurtured image of wholesome banter and genuine affection could be permanently tarnished. The stakes go beyond personal heartbreak. Their brand is built on appearing relatable, comedic, and above all, authentic. That brand has helped them secure movie deals, endorsements, and the kind of widespread admiration that translates into box office returns. Destroy the foundation of that authenticity, and you risk losing more than a spouse. You risk losing everything you've built. Even more sobering is the thought that all of this might be orchestrated by a cunning hand behind the scenes. Could another actor, a PR team, or a past acquaintance be pulling the strings for attention, money, or revenge? Sometimes in Tinseltown, illusions are built and shattered by people who know how to manipulate narratives for their own gain. So, if these rumors prove baseless, who orchestrated them and why? If they're true, how long has this manipulative facade been in play? Whether you're a diehard fan or a casual observer, it's impossible to look away. The tension is skyrocketing, and the next revelation could tilt the scales entirely. Which brings us to our final section, where we'll summarize the mounting allegations and ask the ultimate question: does the truth even matter anymore? Or has the scandal already written its own ending? For Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, the stakes couldn't be higher. If they manage to survive this unscathed, they'll have proven themselves to be more formidable than the swirling rumors that threaten to tear them apart. If not, well, Hollywood has a long history of watching its brightest duos burn out in a blaze of speculation and regret. Whichever outcome unfolds, the echoes of this scandal will resonate long after the headlines fade, reminding us all that in the realm of celebrity, reality can be as elusive as a whispered secret, and just as devastating when unleashed. Stay tuned, because if there's one thing this saga has taught us, it's that every new revelation can flip the narrative in an instant. Let's see if the golden couple can weather the storm, or if we're witnessing the slow, agonizing demise of an iconically adored partnership. The truth, if it's still out there, may be far stranger or simpler than anyone ever imagined. As the story continues to unfold, there's always more to discover. Thanks for tapping in now. Like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you're the first to know when more secrets come to light.